The world watches with bated breath as tensions between Israel and Iran reach a boiling point. Last week, a chilling event occurred that has sent shockwaves across the globe and reignited fears of a full-blown regional conflict. Why did a hospital in Israel, a place of healing and sanctuary, become a target and get hit by a missile? What chain of events led to this devastating moment? In the midst of this escalating crisis, a crucial question arises. Who is responsible for the constant violations of the agreed-upon ceasefire? Who keeps breaking the ceasefire, Israel or Iran? Is it a calculated strategy, a misinterpretation of terms, or simply an inability to control rogue elements? The answer remains elusive, shrouded in accusations and denials. To understand the gravity of the situation and the potential consequences, it's essential to have a clear picture of the events unfolding. Here's what you need to know about the spiraling conflict, the key players involved, and the underlying factors fueling this dangerous escalation. The situation is rapidly evolving, with new developments emerging daily. Let's break down the latest because things have escalated fast. We'll examine the recent attacks, the responses from both sides, and the diplomatic efforts underway to try and de-escalate the crisis. The current crisis can be traced back to a significant event that occurred earlier this month. On June 13th, Iran unleashed over 150 ballistic missiles in a coordinated and overwhelming attack. Adding to the complexity and intensity of the assault, the missile barrage was accompanied by and more than 100 drones at Israel. This multi-pronged attack demonstrated a significant escalation in Iran's military capabilities and its willingness to use them. This large-scale attack was presented as retaliation for Israeli strikes. Israel had previously conducted a series of targeted strikes on Iranian nuclear and military targets aimed at disrupting their weapons development programs and limiting their military capabilities. The result? The exchange of fire has led to widespread damage and destruction on both sides, further fueling the cycle of violence. The attacks have had a devastating impact on civilian populations. At least 22 Israelis injured, many seriously, requiring immediate medical attention. The skies above the region were lit up with explosions as air defense systems struggled to intercept the incoming missiles and drones, creating a terrifying night sky over the region. The situation remained tense in the days that followed, with both sides issuing warnings and threats. Fast forward to June 19th, in a shocking turn of events, an Iranian missile slammed into Soroka Medical Center in Beersheba. This act was a clear violation of international law and a grave breach of humanitarian principles. The aftermath hospital staff and civilians hurt, many of whom were seeking medical care, were caught in the crossfire, suffering injuries and trauma. The impact of the missile caused major damage, and even a chemical leak scare, forcing the evacuation of patients and staff. The attack on the hospital raised serious questions about the targeting of civilian infrastructure. That's a hospital, not a military base. Amidst the escalating violence, diplomatic efforts were underway to try and find a way to de-escalate the situation. Then, on June 23rd, a ceasefire, brokered by former President Trump, was announced, offering a glimmer of hope for a peaceful resolution. However, the fragile hope for peace was quickly shattered, but before the truce even took effect, in a brazen act of defiance, another missile struck Beersheba, further escalating the conflict. The missile strike resulted in tragic consequences, killing several civilians, injuring dozens more. The attack sparked a new round of accusations and counter-accusations. Both sides immediately accused the other of breaking the deal. Adding to the confusion and mistrust, Iran denied launching missiles, further complicating the already complex situation. In response to the attack, Israel retaliated with airstrikes against military sites in Tehran, further escalating the conflict and raising concerns about a wider regional war. The recent events raise critical questions about the future of the region and the potential for further escalation. Why does this matter? The targeting of civilian areas is a dangerous development that could have far-reaching consequences. Civilian targets are now being hit. The ongoing cycle of violence threatens to destabilize the entire region. Each accusation and counterattack moves the region closer to wider war, with potentially catastrophic consequences. The conflict has the potential to draw in other countries and groups, further complicating the situation. With tensions threatening to spill into Yemen, Lebanon, and beyond, the future of the ceasefire remains uncertain, and the prospects for a lasting peace are dim. The ceasefire? It's hanging by a thread. The situation remains highly volatile, with both sides prepared to retaliate at any moment. Both Israel and Iran say they're ready to respond hard. The world watches anxiously, hoping that cooler heads will prevail and prevent further escalation. If the other side makes another move, the situation is constantly changing, and new information is emerging all the time. Stay tuned, because in this conflict, the only thing we can be sure of is that the future is uncertain. The only certainty is more uncertainty.